The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Well, good Thursday morning to everyone, and welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. Just so y'all know, technically this is going to be our Friday, meaning we will not be here tomorrow. So anyway, we got Carol and Pedro with me this morning. So good morning, y'all.
Buenos dias. Buenos dias todas.
Buenos dias todos. Damn.
And she did that in reference to tonight being Let's Talk Spanish with Mr. Bautista tonight at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. So again, if you're trying to pick up some conversational Spanish, and great place to do it at, you know what I'm saying? Come on in, hang out with Mr. Bautista, and pick up a few phrases and, you know, stuff like that. That way you can be more sociable with your neighbors. So,
Hablemos español.
Hablamos español. Yeah, hey.
Am I doing it, Pedro?
Yeah, hey, I could understand you.
Okay, good.
And she learned all that with Let's Talk Spanish.
Let's talk Spanish.
Vamos a hablar español.
Come on out and hang out with him. And like I said, maybe you can become a semi-pro like my girl Carol. So, but anyway, we got a full day of health topics for you today. So anyway, we're going to jump into this first one, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
Hey Blind United crew, grab your first cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this first article. Imagine being able to detect cancer years before symptoms appear, long before a diagnosis is even considered. That future may be closer than we think, thanks to a groundbreaking discovery in cancer research. Scientists have found that tiny fragments of cancer DNA can be detected in the bloodstream up to 7 years before traditional diagnostic methods would catch the disease. This revelation comes from a large-scale study involving thousands of blood samples collected over time. Researchers analyzed these samples using advanced genomic sequencing tools and found that certain patterns of mutated DNA, known as circulating tumor DNA, ctDNA, were present in individuals who later developed cancer. What's remarkable is that these fragments were detectable long before any clinical signs emerged. The implications are enormous. Early detection is one of the most powerful tools in the fight against cancer. Catching the disease in its earliest stages can dramatically improve survival rates, reduce the need for aggressive treatments, and lower healthcare costs. With this new approach, routine blood tests could one day serve as a predictive tool, flagging potential cancer risks years in advance. This breakthrough also opens the door to personalized prevention strategies. If doctors can identify who is at risk early on, they can tailor monitoring and lifestyle interventions to reduce the likelihood of cancer developing. It's a shift from reactive medicine to proactive care, something that could transform how we approach not just cancer, but chronic disease management as a whole. Of course, there are challenges ahead. Researchers still need to refine the accuracy of these tests, ensure they can distinguish between harmless mutations and those that signal real danger, and make the technology affordable and accessible. But the momentum is building, and clinical trials are already underway to validate these findings across different types of cancer. For the blind and visually impaired community, this kind of innovation is especially meaningful. Access to early screening tools that don't rely on visual cues or complex procedures could make preventive care more inclusive and less intimidating. It's another step toward a healthcare system that works for everyone. As science continues to push boundaries, This discovery reminds us that the future of medicine lies not just in curing disease, but in catching it before it starts. Have you ever participated in a health screening that helped you catch something early? What do you think about the idea of predictive blood tests for cancer? Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, I mean, again, I'm down for anything that's going to help improve, the well-being of our fellow human beings, right? I do understand that testing is very, very important. Lab work is very, very important when it comes to, truly diagnosing what's going on with a person, right? Uh, I mean, this is great. I mean, if you can pick up these cancerous cells or what they're calling floating tumor particles, whatever, right? I mean, if you can get that way early before it really starts affecting a person, like I said, there's a possibility you can do something there. I mean, I'm reminded of when my son was dealing with his rare form of cancer. Uh, Man, we spent at least a couple months, right, making appointments at different, specialists and, children's hospital, orthopedic hospital. I mean, just all over the place, trying to get, find out what was wrong with my son. And they kept coming up with a blank, and they couldn't find it until, I finally went back to our original doctor. And, you know what? I ain't leaving here until y'all tell me what's wrong with my son. And then they just started doing some, tests that they wouldn't normally do, which is, was new at the time, just like this, what they're talking about is new, right? And they found it, So again, all of that lab work and stuff is very, very important. And anything that they can do to, get an advantage on whatever the illness, disease, infection, whatever it may be, man, it's great. It's great. I'm glad to hear it. I'm looking forward to them perfecting this, not only perfecting it with within the realm of cancer oncology, but again moving on to other stuff. Man, I mean, it's just it's very important that we have this kind of technology available to us. I mean, again, we can live longer. That's what this is going to be, and live a more healthy life. I mean, who wants to be, you know, have to be cared for in their senior years? I mean, if they can get us to where we can stay healthy till we pass away, I mean, that'd be great.
I agree.
So, but anyway, that's my take on it.
I hear you and I agree. Ed, cancer is a absolute terrible, terrible disease. I've seen family members suffer through it and just did not win their battle. And if they have these types of tests that can detect these things prior, that can help them probably treat these diseases well ahead of time, that would be wonderful. But I mean, this is my opinion only. Every blood test is not equal. And I don't know if it's just based on insurance or what, but they do not run all of the things you need unless you ring the bell like you did and say, hey, you got to find something because something else is going on. And then it may allow them to go back in there and test for other things. Sometimes you got to go in there asking for certain things. I mean, we all adults here, when you go in and you have your blood work, they're not testing for sexual transmitted diseases. You have to go to the health department unless you specifically ask your doctor while you're in there having your exam, hey, I think I might have came across a little something. Can you test for this? And they'll do that, but that's not a necessary blood panel. So a lot of things are being missed. And if they can upgrade the blood testing like they upgrade everything else, that would help us survive all of these things that we unfortunately just come across that can cure things that they may not see on a regular blood panel. And it will help adjust a lot of this Medicare and Medicaid and all this fraud and help us, save money to where they don't have to continuously see us in the emergency room or this or that, because we're having some type of side effects or some type of occurrences medically that they just couldn't catch at the beginning.
Well, I mean, you bring up a great point, Carol. I mean, again, a lot of these insurance companies don't do a lot of screening, basically because they're trying to cut costs. But in the long
Mm-hmm.
run, you end up costing yourself more money.
More money. That's right.
But when you have a good and I'm sorry that I'm going to emphasize it again, a good primary care provider, somebody that truly cares about a person's quality of life. They can order those panels. You know what I'm saying? They can order the screening for this, screening for that. And as this stuff becomes more prevalent, I'm just hoping that at some point they at least do that in maybe a yearly physical screening, whatever, and then at least you're getting that stuff checked at least once a year to see if anything is developed. So, but anyway, what you got, Pedro?
Yeah, yeah, we do need to like update the system, and yeah, unfortunately, we do have clinics or doctors and some primaries cutting corners, and certain, and this what comes back to what I say, certain sectors don't need to be run like a private corporation or company,
A business.
a business, you know. And I'm glad that they're doing these type of testing. The stem cells is also having results. You know, now with this type of checking your blood and able to detect DNA that is mutated, that is can be tied to cancer. I know they said there's also mutated DNA that is what they called it, but it's like unusable DNA or something. I forgot the term they used. But that DNA might be something as well. We just haven't found out yet. And this is the start of this type of testing. Now, they could even maybe detect other diseases that might develop in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this could advance. This is the beginning. It's like I always say this example. You bring out the iPhone 1, but then here comes the iPhone 2, more better and
Right.
faster, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's right.
this type of technology is pretty dope. I just hope that we are able to obtain and create a system where we're all included in the United States. Medicare for everybody, where when a treatment comes out, it could be used on people. And look, the way we save money is by prevention. You prevent people going to the emergency room. You prevent people from getting cancer and going to some extreme therapies that they cost a lot, up to
Mm-hmm.
$1 million. I know they cost up to $1 million for almost every cancer patient. And you have crooked. I call them crooked, but I guess it's in their policy because it's written down. But some of these insurances, they let you go. You could have been paying all your things down for years and working and paying down the insurance and paying them and paying them. But when things hit the fan, some of these insurance drop you. And guess what? You're back on the government's Medicare and Medi-Cal. Why? Why we don't put that light on some of these insurance companies? Why they get away with it as well? So we need to work overall in the entire healthcare system, but this type of treatment, you know, is able to prevent and detect cancer. You could prepare yourself for the upcoming battle because it is a battle and it's devastating. And the people that go through these treatments and stuff, man, they're beat. They're beat.
Mm-hmm.
I hear symptoms like my skin's on fire and things like that. And it's from the treatment, trying to get better. And then they're going through that. And let's say one is a single mom, 3 kids going through cancer. Let's say the insurance company dropped her. Man, what you we're leaving her safety, her financial safety, and her stability to a social safety net that has been getting gutted. Gutted. Look, it doesn't matter the color, the race, or whatever. You're that mother is gonna struggle, depend on this, and we don't even have it robust no more. that safety net. And then the insurance that dropped her doesn't even get penalized. You know, so we have to figure some type of something out. Because healthcare is provided to all kinds of citizens in different countries, and they're the top 6 countries, and we're the only one that don't have it, and that's weird.
All right. Right quick,
Ah,
right quick, Carol. Pedro. I'm sorry. George. George said, "Carol, answer your phone." Uh,
What? He
uh,
hadn't called me. Stop it.
Number two, Tisha says she missed you yesterday. So,
Oh, missed you too, Tisha. Thank you.
all right. But I mean, again, this testing stuff is really, really important. I mean, like I said, it just, you know, it's. I mean, again, we need us. You want to bring costs down, okay? Then
mhm,
quit allowing our healthcare system to be competitive. Okay, like I said,
Right.
just do it a single payer thing. So that regardless of what insurance company you dealing with, they got to go through the government to get it. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? And then that's going to bring all of these costs down. That's going to give the government the ability to negotiate with insurance companies and negotiate with drug manufacturers. Negotiate with people that have to go for different types of therapies. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Anything related to your health. It's going to give them the power to be able to negotiate with you and try to keep those costs down. You know,
Mm,
but and then they will shift their focus to more about doing more preventative care than actual treatment. You know what
mhm,
I'm saying?
mhm,
right,
mhm.
right, right.
And
You
healthcare's
know,
all right.
I mean, I hear you, but according to them,
Mhm.
it's your health, not theirs. So you
But
know what I'm saying.
And quit
but you brought up a
polluting
good
our
point.
environment. Quit
You brought
polluting
up.
the Go ahead, Carol.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pedro.
No, go ahead.
You brought up a good point. Like they do have some things that are preventive, like for females, mammogram. For all of us, a colonoscopy. Why don't they put a panel like that to search for cancer? Wouldn't that be nice?
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, and that's
that
actually
would.
what that is. I mean, again, with the mammogram, they screening for breast cancer. With a
Right,
colon, they screening for colon cancer.
Mhm,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, but
right.
again, if they can perfect this blood test right
Uh
now that
huh.
we were talking about, right? Guess
mhm,
what? We can find it before and that's what they're talking about. Less invasive procedure.
mhm.
You know,
Yes,
And
yes.
costly.
I mean, I know. I mean, of course, I'm not a woman, so I don't know. But don't no woman want to go and have a breast squeezed between two plates to get a picture? You know what
No,
I'm saying? Don't nobody. Period. Well, I mean, I guess I might be wrong on this one, but most folks don't want nothing to go up in their backside.
no, not me.
you
And and
know,
Mm-mm.
and 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 ladies are not the only one that contract breast cancer.
no,
No,
they're
men
not.
do
Too,
too.
too.
You're right. You are
Right,
Mhm.
right.
but
Men do too.
but
Remember
but bottom line, they
that.
cannot put our breasts.
Yeah, they can't match it.
Mhm.
Well, now, some of y'all do.
Depends how big you are.
Some of y'all need bras, really.
Well, I mean, I got a little bit, but it ain't enough to squeeze. Make me want to tone back up so it's all tight.
I've been
So,
working out, man. I've been
Bench
working out with my
presses.
son.
but again, all this stuff, anything to, screening, the preventative care, I mean, it's really, really important. And in the long run, it saves money. It
Hmm.
saves a ton of money,
Right.
So,
Yeah,
I
it
mean, we
does.
got to get with it.
That's true, and you're right. And
Yeah.
if that was the goal, guys, and if that was the goal, we would have been doing it. But that's not the goal.
Right.
But see, as people, and I throw my primary care physician into the mix when I say a good primary care because she don't hesitate to order a test. If she's trying to figure it
Mhm.
out and looking at what she's already done and still can't figure it out, no, we're gonna do this. We're gonna send you to a specialist. We're gonna, she does not
Mhm.
hesitate. Just as a clue, I just looked at all my doctor's appointments. I got like 6 appointments between now and December with
Wow.
Oh, wow.
different
Wow.
specialists.
And I
Okay.
Now,
I had the experience where I had to tell the doctor something's up. I need to go to the specialist, and the doctor has told me, no, this is what you're gonna get, this
what?
medication, and I'm like, no, I need to go to this specialist. I need to go to a lung specialist. Whoa, 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 and the doctor didn't want to. And then she said, okay, fine, I'm gonna send you to a specialist. Since I've been to
Well,
that specialist, I've been great,
well, let
doctor.
me go here. And here's my test if y'all want to be as bold as I am. When I first met my primary care, my first question to her was, are you in this for the paycheck? Or are you in this for the, you know, to improve people's quality of life?
Hmm.
And she told me, she said, well, I ain't gonna lie, the paycheck is nice, but I would do it if it wasn't. And I've been with her now for 10 years. I'm,
I hear
I'm
you.
good. I'm good.
Well, see, I mean, I know I was ratting on
So,
the system and all of that, but I have been with, that's where I was yesterday. I went to see it was my yearly physical.
right.
And I've been with her for 15 years. She orders tests just based on my conversation. And, we've gotten to have this type of relationship to where, I'm calling her first name, she's calling me mine. And she notices different things, and orders different things, so she does take care of me. That's the reason why I go so far to
Well,
see her.
well, again, if you're satisfied with yours and you're not having any, issues getting the care that you need, you're more than, you're great. But if
Yeah.
not, then I
I
say, you
actually
know
thought
what, I
that I
need a
had.
new doctor. So, but anyway, we're going to jump into this next one. We got a health all day long today, y'all. So anyway, let's run into a couple of these promos, Pedro, and we can jump into this next one, which is actually about DNA.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United. You can go to customcane.com. That's custom with a K, guys. And what Custom Cane does is they sell cane and cane accessories. It's like Burger King. You can have it your way. You can get a pink cane, a blue cane, a rainbow cane, a Broncos cane, a Chargers cane, a cane with the Braille alphabet, a cane with your name on it. Whatever you want, whatever type of handle you want, whatever type of tip you want. If you want an aircraft aluminum cane, if you want an all-terrain cane, telescoping cane, any type of cane, Custom Cane has it.
All right, all right. We're
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was listening to the comments.
yeah,
Well, I mean,
guys.
we're
So
multitasking, right? You know what
yeah,
I'm
Right,
so
right.
saying?
so
And
that's
that was so
custom.
loud I couldn't hardly hear what they.
Yeah. Well, that's
So, but
customs with a K, guys. If you want to get a cane tip, a light for your cane, a cane sheath, or whatever it is, it goes for a good cause. It goes to the
We
we
can't
can't
give.
give
any
initiative.
day. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, thank you. And
Yeah.
all the proceeds go there, and you're helping out someone, and you're getting something as well.
And you get to walk around with a flat cane. I mean, again,
Right.
again, I have a collection of them.
I have an
Yeah.
idea in mind what I want, so I got to jump in there.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, I have a collection. I enjoy each and every one of my canes. My newfound favorite, and I just love it, is that all-terrain cane, y'all. Man, that cane is so strong. It is
Mm.
so strong. It's so stable. You know what I'm saying? Little heavy, but again, I got a roller tip, so I'm not carrying it anyway. It's on the ground. So,
Right.
but anyway, this next one is about DNA and repairing, potential issues within your DNA strand. New technology as well. So, anyway, check this one out.
Hey, Blind United crew, grab your next cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this second article. In a major leap forward for genetic medicine, scientists at Northwestern University have developed a new nanostructure that supercharges the effectiveness of CRISPR gene editing, making it 3 times more efficient at entering cells safely. This innovation could dramatically expand the possibilities for treating genetic diseases, from sickle cell anemia to certain forms of blindness. CRISPR, often described as molecular scissors, allows scientists to cut and modify DNA with remarkable precision. But one of its biggest challenges has been delivery, getting the CRISPR components into cells without triggering immune responses or causing unintended damage. That's where this new nanostructure comes in. It acts like a protective shuttle, guiding the gene editing tools into cells more smoothly and with far fewer complications. The breakthrough was achieved by designing a flexible, biodegradable shell that wraps around the CRISPR molecules. Once inside the body, the shell dissolves, releasing the editing tools exactly where they're needed. Early lab tests show a dramatic increase in successful edits, with minimal side effects. This could pave the way for safer and more effective treatments for a wide range of conditions. For the blind and visually impaired community, this kind of advancement holds special promise. Researchers are already exploring how CRISPR could be used to correct inherited retinal diseases, conditions that currently have no cure. With improved delivery methods, those treatments could move from theory to reality much faster. Beyond vision-related conditions, the implications stretch across medicine. Genetic disorders that were once considered untreatable may soon be manageable or even reversible. And because the new delivery system is adaptable, it could be customized for different tissues and diseases, making personalized medicine more achievable than ever. Of course, ethical and regulatory questions remain. Gene editing is a powerful tool, and its use must be carefully monitored to avoid unintended consequences. But with this new development, the path toward responsible and transformative genetic therapy just got a lot clearer. Have you followed any of the developments in gene editing? What do you think about the potential for CRISPR to change how we treat disease? Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, I mean, again, anything we can do to help improve, people's quality of life, right? So, anyway, right quick, George has got jokes down in the comment. I don't want to repeat his last one. And then Tisha said that's a great way to establish a relationship with your doctor about what you're doing there, right? She's referring to my question to my primary care. But I mean, and so like, well, here we go. Let's bring these two together. You got the blood work that's going to deduct, going to find those, floating tumor particles, as they call them, right? Which they actually say is DNA. So now what do? We get with this second one, and they go in there and they modify that DNA to eliminate the risk of cancer. They repair that strand of DNA so it doesn't have that issue any longer, right? So again, what does all that mean? Damn, we get to live better. We ain't got to go through all those expensive treatments. We ain't got to go through, I mean, not only the expense, but, like Carol and I've done it myself. I mean, I've lost a couple people to cancer as well. That is ugly, okay? Mm-hmm. What they have to go through when they're going through that chemo and radiation and all that kind of stuff, that is some ugly stuff. I mean, for, women having to go in and have their bodies mutilized to get rid of it. Come on, man. I mean, we got to do better than that. We can do better than that. You know what I'm saying? And this right here is, proof that, folks that really care about the quality of life are, they're continuing their research and they're trying to find better ways to be able to head some of this stuff off and do preventive care. So that's the way I got it. That's the way I feel about it. And hey, I'm cool with it.
It's definitely necessary because sometimes, they miss it. And, I had a friend where, when you are cancer free, you ring the bell. And she rung the bell and got discharged and thought that everything was okay. But they missed something. And she ended up going back and, of course, did not win that battle. It ended up being in her brain instead of where they initially thought it was. And sometimes they miss it, so continuously testing and trying to eliminate things that can destroy families, not only because of you battling through it and losing your life, but it's we've come too far in health to not be able to find something better than these things that aren't really necessary. I'm not saying they're not necessary. I mean, I know men erection is great and finding a pill to help with that, and helping an individual be able to stay up for days because they're trying to work in the health field to help save lives. But those things are great too. But there's some other things that are out there like this that blood is necessary, where you got to test it and you got to be able to improve this healthcare system, period, so that we can live our best lives, really, because we living longer. But some things are just more mandatory, more I think, a lot of people unfortunately don't go to the doctor. That is true. That's the only way you're going to be able to find out what's going on with you. But sometimes they don't go because they just can't afford to have the insurance to even find out if something's wrong when they know it might be. And that's a
Yeah.
sad thing too.
Yeah.
I mean, just to add a little footnote, Pedro, and I'm gonna let you have it. Cancer is really, really a big thing because cancer is also one of those diseases that will spread. I know many, many people that have had, cancer in one part of their body. They go get
Mm-hmm.
that treated. They think they
Hmm.
good,
Right.
and next thing you know, it's done spread to a different part of their body.
That's right.
And so on and so forth. So again, the earlier we can detect cancer, the better off we're gonna be. And with both of these procedures, like I say, number one, finding it early. Number two, being able to go in there and try to repair that before it becomes detrimental to our health. All right, Pedro.
Yes, yes. CRISPR has been in use. They've been testing it for a long time. I remember when I heard this almost what, like 7 years ago. I was like, oh, and a little bit of the problem that we're having back then was the precise cuts. But with time and time progresses, the technology improves, the cut gets better, the editing is what they call it, the editing, the gene editing gets better. And then now with this new advancement with the capsule that encapsulates them and prevents our body's immune system get rid of them before they even get to target, so making it more successful. This is the beginning stages, of the future, guys. This is the beginning stages of medical able to go in and repair your body, repair your retina cells if you have some type of retina demyelic. I can't even say it. RP is another one. A couple, you know what I mean. So technology is improving. Is our medical technologies and therapies are improving. Now the question is going to be, how much is the treatment going to cost? Is our insurance company going to allow this type of treatment, something that could prevent or help us save lives? I don't know. There might be
Mm.
some guidelines and rules that may need to be changed for us to be able to take advantage of that. Because the more preventative, the less cost, and the more money we save as taxpayers. More money we have in our government, so we could let them know what we want them to spend that money, because they work for us. They don't make the laws because to keep us all lined up, all these guidelines. No, they need to improve our medical health system. There's something, there's a disconnect when someone that gets cancer, develops cancer, ends up bankrupt, and their house is also gone. That's in the richest country. We can't even help somebody that is going through some medical debt, and we got the sharks ready to come and take their house. That's not cool. That's
Yeah,
not
that's
cool.
sad.
That's sad, and that's the number one reason that people go bankrupt is medical debt.
Yeah, I mean, again, I've experienced that myself. I mean, luckily I was able to discharge that debt, but when my wife passed away, man, I had over $200,000 worth of medical bills.
Ooh,
Whoa.
ooh,
No, I can't do this. I'm sorry.
whoa.
So luckily I was able to go in and get all that discharged. I had to suffer with my credit for a minute, but
That's another
Right.
thing right there. Why is your medical debt tied to your credit? Look, you can't
well,
help.
because on this one,
It's
Pedro,
debt.
I'm being honest. On this one, what it was, in order for me to discharge the debt, I had to file bankruptcy, and bankruptcy is always going to affect your credit.
Yeah, fall on the credit.
Right.
Yes.
Right. That's true.
So
Yeah.
again, so I mean, it depends on, I mean, if you
Mhm.
got the money to pay an attorney to go in and get each one individually discharged without the bankruptcy thing, you might recover a lot sooner. But at the same time, look at what it's going to cost you.
Yeah, but
You
see,
know,
that's what I'm saying. Like the policy of that has to be tied to your credit, because okay, we or some diseases and some cancers happen, right? But let's be real, it's happening because of our environment. Our environment is being polluted. Our environment is polluted. And because of the government softening those regulations is their fault. And we have right to have Medicare, to have health care, you know? So they should provide that.
well,
And
and I agree that some of this stuff is coming from the environment, but a lot
mhm,
of this stuff is also hereditary. You
that
know
is
what I'm
true
saying?
as
Yeah.
well.
Hereditary too.
So again, being able to screen for the disease, regardless of where its origins come from, is nothing but a plus. I mean, the sooner we can catch it, the sooner we can do something about it before it actually does harm to our everyday health. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's important that we all have a healthy life,
Hmm.
Yeah. We
and I'm
deserve
being
that.
honest. I raise my hand. I am not the healthiest person on the planet. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm not healthy because I don't feel bad, but I'm not doing anything particular to improve my health. I mean, again, my diet it sucks. I mean, you know what I'm saying? My activity, I mean, it sucks. So
Dang.
I'm just being 100% honest,
Right.
but
Right.
thank God that I guess I got good genes or good DNA, whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call it, because again, I'm not bad. I'm not bad off. I'm not taking a shoebox full of medicine every day. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Just a few pills here and there, do little minor adjustments here and there, and I'm good. So but again, whatever we can do to screen and catch these things early, and with these two tied together, one is for finding it early, the other one is about trying to repair it before it does damage to us. So, uh, anyway, we at the end of this one, and we're going to go ahead and jump into these last couple promos with you, and then we got one more article that I think everybody might be interested in as well. Did you know Blind United offers free training in assistive technology? We call them interest groups. We offer training in JAWS, NVDA, iPhone, iPad, as well as Meta Ray-Bans. We also have groups like support group, cooking groups, and crafting groups. There are also groups for entertainment like movie night and RS game night. For more information about all the interest groups that we offer, just email us at info@blindunited.org or visit our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Group. We would love to have you be part of the Blind United crew.
Have you ever wondered what it's really like to be blind? Ever wanted to ask questions but held back, afraid of offending? Blind United invites you to replace that fear with fun, learning and connection at our 4th annual walk. A mile in my shoes challenge. Join us Saturday, October 11th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Wayfinder Family Services, 50 Huntington Angeles, Vista Boulevard, Los Angeles. Experience everyday attacks blindfolded, like pouring a cup of water. Try assistive technology like screen reader computers and iPhones. Get a hands-on braille lesson and discover how independence is built every day. Smile, laugh, and learn alongside the blind community. No pressure, just pleasure. Help us build bridges, close gaps, and make connections. Walk a mile in my shoes and see the world in a whole new way.
All right. Again, this Walk a Mile is approaching really soon. So, again, if you on our email list, of course, you got the link right there to register, get yourself registered. Remember, folks in the community, the whole purpose of this is bring your friends and family members. You know what I'm saying? Let them see what it's like to do what we do, right? So, and with that being said, when you register, they also need to register. We need everybody to register. I don't care if there's a man, woman, child, whatever.
And no
They need
charge,
to.
guys. No
There's
charge.
no charge. This is free.
A
We're
free event.
Blind United is footing the bill for this entire outreach program because I believe this event that creates the type of awareness that we do with this outreach it's priceless. You know what I'm saying? So again, there's nothing going to cost you a thing. You come on out. We're going to give you a little something to tide you over. Some sort of a little meal, lunch, whatever. And we're going to have a lot of fun with this. And we're also going to have vendors there. From various technology as well as services. That work within the community to help us with a lot of different stuff we're dealing with, on a daily basis. So again, get yourself signed up. The cutoff for registration is October the 4th, simply because we got to put in our order for our event t-shirts and get them all made up and printed up before the event. So again, please. And if you're not on the email list, you should be able to go to the website and register there at www.blindunited.org. And if all else fails, info@blindunited.org. Man, shoot me an email. I'll make sure you get a registration link. Okay? All right. Well, this next one affects a lot of people. A lot of people, just like blindness, autism. Autism is a big thing. It's a big issue, not only here in America, but on the planet, right? And they've looks like they found a way to kind of reverse that. I don't even know what we want to call it. I'm not sure exactly what they call it, but again, it's a wide spectrum, and it goes from very functional, high functional, all the way down to can't hardly do anything. So anything they can do to help, improve the lives of the people that are dealing with autism, again, is always a plus. So check this out.
Hey Blind United crew, grab your last cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this third article. In a discovery that could reshape how we understand and treat autism, researchers at Stanford University have identified a hyperactive region of the brain that appears to drive many autism-like behaviors. Even more astonishing, when this region was suppressed in lab mice, the symptoms were reversed, offering a glimpse into what future therapies might look like. The study focused on a part of the brain known as the striatum, which plays a key role in movement, motivation, and social behavior. In mice genetically engineered to exhibit autism-like traits, this region was found to be unusually active. The researchers used targeted brain modulation techniques to quiet the activity, and the results were dramatic. The mice showed improved social interaction, reduced repetitive behaviors, and more typical patterns of movement. While it's important to note that mice are not humans, the findings offer a compelling direction for future research. Autism is a complex condition with many contributing factors, but pinpointing a specific brain region that can be modulated opens the door to new kinds of treatment, ones that go beyond behavioral therapy and medication. This breakthrough also raises the possibility of non-invasive brain stimulation techniques, such as transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS, being adapted to target similar regions in humans. If successful, such approaches could offer relief for individuals with autism who struggle with social engagement or sensory overload, without the side effects of traditional medications. For families and caregivers, the potential is profound. Autism affects millions of people worldwide, and while early intervention can help, many individuals continue to face challenges throughout life. A therapy that addresses the neurological root of these behaviors could dramatically improve quality of life and independence. It's also a reminder of how far neuroscience has come. Just a decade ago, the idea of reversing autism symptoms through brain modulation would have seemed far-fetched. Today, it's a subject of serious scientific inquiry, and one that could lead to real-world solutions in the not-so-distant future. Have you or someone close to you had experience with autism therapies? What do you think about the idea of using brain modulation to support behavioral change? Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
So, myself personally, yes, I have, some folks in my family that have dealt with autism. And again, it just depends on where they're at on the spectrum as far as, how, daunting it can be, not only on that person, right, but on the family that cares for that person, So, again, anything that they can do to improve the quality of the life of the person that's dealing with it, as well as, the quality of life that, the providers have to deal with. I mean, some folks are so bad that, they're so far off on the spectrum there that one of the parents may need to quit their job and care for that child 24/7, right? So how much quality of life is that family going to have when in today's world when it takes, two folks providing incomes to, just to live a halfway normal life, and then when you throw all that in the mix and then you throw all of the medical bills and stuff in the mix, again, it's all about improving the quality of life, man. I mean, again, that's why I get to what I said. I talk to my doctor. Hey, you in this to improve quality of life, or you in this for a paycheck? Because I want to know. Because if you're really serious about improving my quality of life, we good. But if you just here to run me through and bill some hours, you're not going to pay the necessary attention you need to pay to each every patient. You're really not. You know what I'm saying? You're already overwhelmed because you got so many patients you have to see on a daily basis, right? But again, we want to be able to give the people the attention that they need. We want to be able to listen to them and not just let it become, a routine that we do, or you do, I should say, 10, 15, 20 times a day, however many appointments you book, how many times you overbook, whatever, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff needs to stop. But again, anything to improve somebody's quality of life, I'm with it. So there we go.
I agree with you, Ed. I mean, autism, I don't have it necessarily in my family, but I do have some friends that, They have children or there are some adults, and it's like um, a lot of them are functioning and a lot of them are not. And unfortunately, it seems to be tougher for the adults that are suffering with it if they, can't get some form of financial help. Not only can they not really do a whole lot, but it burdens the parent as well. And a lot of times they can't afford to have 24-hour care, but they may need it, and there's not really, I mean, it ties back to some of the old stories, education and things of that sort to really help these individuals feel like they can do things on their own for the ones that can function. But for the ones who are bedridden or nonverbal or even the ones that aren't able to see and have autism. Uh, if they can find something that can definitely improve all of these individuals' lives, that will just make things even better. I know that for the future, all of these things are going to come. All the stories that were played prior, with the blood and the cancer testing, and now with the autism, all of this probably won't happen in my lifetime, but just the research of being able to do this. I love animals like everybody, but I know that, even in mice, like they were saying, and rats, that's what they have to use, but you can see even in your cats or dogs, certain things that they just have that we have. And if they have to test rats, then that's what they have to do. Because, I'm not saying that don't get me wrong, it's my opinion. I'm not for anybody losing, no any animal lovers. I'm not saying, hey, no, they don't deserve to not be tested and probably passed on from whatever the test that they didn't make it. But if one ran around my house, I'd kill it. I'm just saying. But I believe that any type of research that they can do on those animals and they're able to detect anything that can help our future generation of autism and being able to detect it earlier and maybe being able to treat it or improve the way that each individual can function and live their best life, I think is awesome, and
Right,
that's
right,
just
right.
my opinion about it.
And just throw another little footnote in there. Just like blindness, and about bringing in the spectrum thing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the autism in the same way as a spectrum, and they are also the lack of awareness about autism, the lack of awareness about blindness, the lack of awareness about so many different issues, right?
Right.
Again, that falls into that education category, and that's what our Walk a Mile is. We're trying to educate people about what's going on in our community, and I'm quite sure, folks within the autism community, hopefully, if they're not, they're doing something like this, you know, or they're going to start doing something like Walk a Mile per se. Just to again, we gotta we gotta educate our fellow Americans, our fellow human beings, about what's going on with our other fellow human beings. So anyway, go ahead, Pedro.
Yeah, and this is a good step. There's sometimes the people that have autism get put aside, meaning with financial help by the government. Sometimes it's like a gray area, so and it's be tough on the parents, on both parents, and like you said, Ed, if they both working and and the kid or the child or the young adult needs 24 hours like watch. I know they got these adult daycare centers and stuff like that, but the way things are going and how things are getting defunded, you know, I hope stuff like that don't close down because autism right now we have a lot of individuals um that even the families rely on these centers as well, and
Of
stuff like
course, I mean, they rely on for a number of reasons. Number one, it gives the people something to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
Although it, chump change, they have the opportunity to make a couple bucks, but most importantly, it gives the actual parents, the caregivers, a break.
Yeah.
Right? They get to run out and
Mhm.
handle their business, pay their bills, do their grocery shopping. I don't know, go relax at the spa, whatever.
Or
Whatever you
even
can
work
afford
or
to
have
do.
a job, for the ones that have to be the only source of income.
Right. Well, this is true too. I mean, again, if you get them into a regular program where they got regular hours, then you can hopefully find you a job to, complements those hours where you can work as well. So,
Hmm.
again, it's all about that awareness. And like Pedro was saying, man, if they take a lot of this stuff away, you're shifting that burden right back down onto the parents, the caregivers of these people. And man, it's not good because number one, not only are they not having the quality of life that they deserve, now the quality of life, you know, is going down for the people that have to do the caregiving, right?
Hmm.
Uh, you
Yeah.
know, uh, uh, you
And
know,
stop being America first.
I was a caregiver for my mother, before she left this world in 2016. And just that little time of spending with her, it's draining, it's exhausting, and you lose sleep and all of that kind of stuff. So
Hmm.
it's daunting on your whole body and your whole life. So I couldn't imagine someone having to do that day in, day out, because of the person that they love and have, to just try to, I don't see them having a life other than taking care of someone else's life.
I mean, and it's a different world we live in now. I mean, and then I mean, myself personally, I've had not had to, but because of for circumstances beyond my control, I had to assist in some of that and care for an elderly relative, right?
Hmm.
And the coldest part about it was the hardest part for me was they were bitter. They were not appreciative of what I was doing to help them and whatever, and they just was bitter, bitter, bitter all the time.
Mm.
You know,
Ooh.
but again, if I didn't do it, who gonna do it, right?
Right.
So
Right.
again, we do it even though it's it emotionally and physically taxing on us, right?
Yes. Yes.
So we got again we got to do whatever we can to improve let's say the quality of life for people on the planet. So I'm down with it,
Wow.
whatever it happens to be. Go ahead, Pedro.
Me
Yes,
too.
and having these technologies in the forefront is exciting, and on the way they can improve our lives. With the CRISPR can edit different diseases in our community can be even transmitted genetically. You can
Hmm.
modify those or crisp out those that mutated gene. Um, you know, so that's pretty cool. Repair certain things that are hard to attack. There's certain things that are better treatment than invasive surgery.
Right.
And then now with this blood test that is able to start detecting mutated cells that carry cancer, not all mutated cells, but let's say they start identifying more mutated cells, well, DNA actually, mutated DNA, and knowing what it is, and then able to edit that gene.
Exactly,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
exactly. I mean, imagine being able to apply, again, that early detection for autism because sometimes you don't see it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, but being able to detect it early. You know, then sliding into the DNA thing where okay, well, let's repair that DNA. You know what I'm saying? And now maybe the child doesn't have to suffer at all. You know, and for
Mm-hmm.
those that are actually born with it, per se, whatever, who's to say that just like with my CPAP machine, we couldn't come up with a headband that they wear at night that's gonna do the therapy on that portion of their brain, that magnetic therapy while they're sleeping. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? I mean, it could be so many advancements, coming down the pipe that is going to definitely help to improve the quality of people's life. And I'll say it again, I'll say it a million times if I have to. That's the important part.
I look
Yeah,
at the future of it helping with the sickle cell anemia here in the community of my, family and stuff
right,
like
right.
that. So
So,
I'm looking forward to it. It's amazing.
so anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed what we had for you today. Please like, subscribe, share, follow, comment, all that good stuff. It really does help. And remember, we will not be here tomorrow, but we will be back with you again on Monday morning. So until then, thank you everybody for coming in. Pedro, Carol, I appreciate y'all. And everybody else, have a great rest of your day. And please, please, please enjoy your weekend.